Alright, welcome to another tutorial, and we're gonna make 4 switches activate 1 door, but this time we're not gonna use physical objects. In physics we're gonna use animations. And so basically I already pre-set up something I was gonna do called 3D Dream, where I was gonna, make a couple of dreams and see how it goes from there. So I set up this monumental structure, and basically what you're gonna do is gonna have 4 switches. Now these switches can be activated in any order, right? After you activate each switch, it will turn on the main 4 switches. The main 4 switches will signal a fire for each hand for the fire. And then when you activate all 4 switches, animations are going to be formed. So this is negative n value 40 for the animations, right? For position Y. And now I calculated, so from this switch all the way up to here, it's 40 value up, and then I just subtracted it by negative 40, and then I subtracted and divided the distance between 10 to 40 to get down here. So you can use 4 as just an example. You could use 8 or 12, and then but you got to make sure that the distance between the parts are even, or you're gonna run into problems. Now this, I'm sure there's a way better way of doing this. Unfortunately, I can't figure it out, so I invented another sort of mechanical, machine to make this work. So it doesn't involve physics. This could be anywhere. You can construct this behind your map or out of the map, so it doesn't involve any way of anything. Obviously, these are trigger points, so it needs to react to the player target. So I made a first person setup here, and what it's going to do, it is going to when the player hits all 4 switches, all these are going to go down by 10, and then the door is going to open. So we're going to see how that works, right? I'm going to test track. Ready. I have it on the view of, so you can see what I'm doing. This is just a bunch of cameras that I'm going to put on the map. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it. So the first person works, there's a jump button, there's a run button, there's everything. So these are signals that are going to work. So I'm going to hit the buttons, they're going to make noises. Turn them, you can't really see them because the triggers are over them. Alright, and then I'm going to hit the first switch. It goes down, and the flame goes up. I'm going to hit the other switch and see how they go down. I'm going to hit this switch. Now it goes down. Now you got to make sure that people are not going to cheat. So this is just an example, obviously. But you got to make sure that they're the same level, because if they're not the same level, then you know what I mean. It can come into a lot of problems. You can increase the distance between them, like instead of like 10, you could say 30. So then, but it has to be the same distance between the 4 switches, or the 6 switches, or the 12 switches, or whatever. You know what I mean? But this is the best way. So when I hit this final switch, see how I have 4 of them linking at the same time? The same animation with all different switches. And then the vibration comes, and then the noise will come, and then the door can open, and then you can go, and then the level. Or however you want to progress, right? So we're going to show you how that was done a little bit easier. Alright, so I have a first-person tutorial on my channel, either my custom designs or the Master 9000. I don't know. I think there's commentary. If there's not, I'm sorry. But I will go see what I did. All I did was use an impulse splitter, right? Obviously, all I did is I turned off. So for all these 4 switches, is I used any object in the world, right? I used a color event to make the object turn green. I turned the emission all the way up and the darkness all the way down, so you can't see the emission. And then I used impulse splitters. So this hit area trigger is going to triggered by object instances, and object instances is obviously the player that's controlling, which is this invisible collision, this sphere collision. So everything is going to be object instances, and then you're going to say select target on hit, and it's going to be to the clamp filter. Clamp filter, you can select up to 8 different events at once. So with this, I just select all these, and then remember, these are going to be off, these hit triggers, and this button's going to turn this thing on, and then this thing is going to turn the fire on, which then will subtract the thing that go down, right? So it doesn't matter which switch you hit, it will activate the door. So you're using 4 switches to turn on 4 switches, and with those 4 switches, doesn't matter what order they're in, it will unlock the main door no matter what. That's the key objective of this video. So all I just here is just on hit impulse splitter, and then the impulse splitter is going to send a signal up here to make the animation. So remember, the animation is -10, 10 plus 4 is 40. And then I mathematically visualized what 40 is. So what you do is you see what number you want to divide it by. It has to be even. It's better to be an even number, not an odd number. And then you see how much 50 or 60 or 70, and then you see how much 10 is. So you're going to see how much 10 is the distance of 10, and then you need to divide 10 into 40, and then you can have the distance between them. And this is just an easier way of making 4 switches open 1 door. 4 switches to 1 door, right? Obviously, there's obviously probably a way better way of doing this with tool scripting, but mechanical reasoning, this is the way that I figured out. Obviously, there's a whole contraption here of different stuff that's going on for the door, right? When a door opens, it will do the animation, the animations for the cogs, all the sounds, the start sound and the end sound, with delayed impulses, and pretty much all state events of different kinds, right? So that is my setup. I hope this video was useful to you. I hope I didn't go too fast. That's basically the current knowledge there. If you do not know anything about triggers and events and how this mechanisms work in Trials, then you should go watch the Red Links tutorial videos, and they will help you. You could look at other people's videos, but this is specifically for people who want to make 3D skill games, and they want to make 4 switches open the door. In addition, 4 switches to turn on 4 switches and 4 switches to open 1 door. So you have an addition to the knowledge, and plus addition animations and state knowledge as well. So, yep. I'm going to make this video short, and hopefully this video was useful. And alright, when I figure something out again in my own way, then I'll make another tutorial. Alright, Saint the Legend, I'm out.